Today we're going to talk about an incident that occurred that could have been handled better had we understood polarity better and how it applied to the situation.
Are you kidding me right now?
Why are you always making us late? This always happens. You always make us late. Why do you keep doing this? I woke up, polarity of thought that comes when you're just waking up. I was like, I know why she's mad. Cutting it really close for the volunteer job I had forgotten about.
Even though I reminded you.
And then all of a sudden you were like, super mad.
I turned on the GPS, and I think that's what triggered it, is I turned on the GPS.
You had to become more masculine. Get all the stuff ready, take it out to the car, and then come and pick you up out of bed and carry you down to the car. Welcome to the Polarity Podcast. This is a podcast about masculine, feminine polarity. I think we're going to call it the Polarity Podcast, but I'm actually not sure. We haven't decided. Today we're going to talk about an incident that occurred that could have been handled better had we understood polarity better and how it applied to the situation, which I just wasn't thinking about. So let's jump into it. This is my wife, Camille. My name's Andrew Schultz. We're married. We're going to talk about polarity. So this incident occurred, first of all, excited to talk about polarity with you.
Me too.
So let's talk about this incident that happened between you and me. I'll just explain the incident, and you can give your rebuttal afterwards if you feel like it's necessary. So we've been married for how long?
Almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years. 20 years in December.
Mm-hmm.
And with pretty much, I don't know, when did this start happening? When you got mad at me for being late to things?
Like forever?
Is it like almost 20 years? Or I don't know if that was a thing when we were first married.
Yeah, I don't think so. There wasn't as much going on. So yeah, probably the last like 10 years since we've lived here. Yeah. So we have 5 kids. The oldest is 18, going off to college this fall, or not. Going off to college in January. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, at some point in time, the kids were old enough and we were going places, and I got that male fatigue that just said, like, I'm tired of carrying all this stuff out to the car. I'm tired of getting all this stuff ready. You never carry stuff out to the car. I do.
Sometimes I do.
Yeah, sometimes you do.
Carry stuff like my water bottle and my phone.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've got the diaper bag and 3 kids, and I'm tying shoes.
Yeah. So polarity, the principle, for those who don't understand polarity or don't know what we're talking about, the principle of polarity is that there's masculine and there's feminine forces or energy in humanity. It's kind of like, it's interesting how this has come up at a time, and this is a little bit more popular right now, at a time when much of society and, PC or the other social trends that are going on right now are trying to minimize the differences. There's this other movement that's saying, hey, men and women are different. If you're going to be like really politically correct about this, you just say masculine, feminine, and like the man could be feminine and the woman could be masculine. It's all good. I don't really feel that way, but like there are these masculine, feminine energies.
Well, everybody has both.
True. Everybody has both. Yeah. And what's happening in our society today is that because men are being attacked for being masculine, you hear words like toxic masculinity thrown around and in more liberal circles, and men are criticized for being controlling, domineering, too loud, making decisions too fast, or too many decisions, or taking control of decisions without asking other people's opinions, whatever it is. With that criticism, a lot of men have lowered their level of masculinity, and they don't really know that they're doing it. I don't think it's a conscious choice to be less masculine until I started reading about these things. I don't know that I could tell what masculine it was when I saw it, usually in myself, but I didn't.
Very masculine.
Thank you. I wouldn't have had a good definition for it. So, but the argument is that men are becoming less masculine, but by being less masculine, the women, these are poles. And so if a man's masculine over here and a woman's feminine over here, if a man is less masculine, he comes in towards the center. But then somebody's got to be more masculine, and the woman becomes more masculine, because there are things, and we'll talk more about this either today or in other episodes, but like you got to get stuff done. And so, there's a masculine force that gets stuff done. The woman comes up, takes charge, gets these things done. But then what happens is you have no polarity in the relationship because they're both kind of neutral. So
what happened in this incident that you're talking about?
So as frequently happens, we are going somewhere, and I really think it's all our kids' fault most of the time. But we're late. We weren't super late. I think, where were we going?
Mountain bike race.
And why was this a big deal?
I didn't want to be late for a volunteer job.
That's right.
Spencer wanted to be on time for his warm-up for his race.
Yeah, and so we were not in danger of being late for the warm-up.
No.
That was hours away.
Yeah.
But we were going to be cutting it really close for the volunteer job, which I had forgotten about.
Even though I reminded you literally 10 o'clock the night before. And probably the morning of, too.
So I was like, why is this such a big deal? Now, I had forgot one important point here is that remembering things is not a necessary masculine trait.
That's unfortunate.
Anyway, so you wanted to be on time for this. We were late. Now, what usually happens in these situations? We're late, we leave.
And I get mad.
You get mad. At who?
You.
Usually me.
Sometimes the kids, depending.
Mm-hmm. So that's happened for years. It's a little bit of a refrain. So you have this script you go through every time we're late for something, and we get in the car, and it goes something like how does it go?
I don't know.
You have to get in state. Just think about you're in the car and we're late and you're super mad. What do you say?
Are you kidding me right now? I don't know what I say.
Why are you always making us late?
Mm-hmm.
Every single time we have to go somewhere, we're waiting for you. And you keep saying those kind of things every time. How does this keep happening? So this time, there was a difference. And the difference was that I was the first one ready. I was. No?
According to you.
So you wanted to leave at 7:30. I was down there at 7:20. Ate a quick breakfast.
Who made the breakfast?
You made breakfast, but I didn't eat that because
Because
it wasn't according to my diet.
Eggs and avocados aren't good enough. I'm just teasing.
I had nuts and fruit.
But I made breakfast.
You made breakfast, which was never in question. But you wanted to leave by 7:30. I was down there by 7:20. I ate an orange, some nuts, and then it was I was ready to go, and nobody else was down there. And so I waited for a couple minutes. You were upstairs doing something, and this felt to me less stressful than usual because we had 2 kids that we were taking, not 5. We were taking Spencer, who can get himself ready these days. He's 17 almost.
16.
He's 16. Remembering birthdays and ages is not a required masculine characteristic.
Okay. Yes. Then we have our 6-year-old who also can get herself ready.
Yeah, she was going. So just those 2. So I'm down there waiting, and I don't know what you guys are doing upstairs, but I decided to start doing some dishes because you left the kitchen, and the dishes from breakfast that you made were still pan and a serving bowl and some stuff. So I start washing those. And while I'm doing that, you come down, you go out the door, and you're like, we gotta go, we're late, hurry. So then I go and get in the car, and how are you feeling at that moment?
Probably pretty stressed. I don't know. It's been a while. A few days.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a feminine trait to forget those stressful moments?
I don't think so. That's your masculine coming out.
Oh, okay.
In my memory, we got in the car and you weren't mad at first. We left. And we drove a couple blocks down the road. And then you were then all of a sudden you were super mad.
I turned on the GPS, and I think that's what triggered it, is I turned on the GPS, And it was like, you're going to arrive at 8:31. And our volunteer thing started at 8:30. And we still had to park super far away, walk all the way down to the pit zone, find the volunteer booth, and walk to our volunteer position. So that puts us like super late.
Yeah. So it's when you saw the GPS that you got mad. Mm-hmm. And you were mad at who?
Probably you.
You know you were mad at me. It was me.
I was mad at you.
For sure. You were so mad at me. And you started just kind of ripping into me like, well, it was the same script. This always happens. You always make us late. Why do you keep doing this? But this time it was different because I was ready first. And I was even helping out. I was washing the dishes that you had left in the kitchen. And so I wasn't having any of it. I was like, what are you talking about? I was down there before you were. I was ready before 7:30. You got nothing on me this time. But you continued to yell at me. Like you were really mad. You were yelling pretty loud.
Yeah. I was mad.
So at that point, I was just like, I didn't want to keep arguing about it. I made my point several times. Like, I was the first one ready. I was doing your dishes. You have no reason to be mad at me. It's not my fault that we're late. And you said something like, you know, I just never help, or...
No, I said the dishes didn't need to be done. That's not helpful. And you said the dishes do have to be done. We don't leave a mess when we're walking out the door. And I said, we do if we're already late. I can do the dishes in 4 hours when we get home. And you were like, no, they absolutely have to be done. It doesn't matter if we're late. Mm-hmm. And I was like, but I needed help with other stuff.
Yeah, that's right. And in my head, I was like, then why didn't you ask for the help with the other stuff? I had no idea what you needed. And how am I supposed to know? And this is what men say all the time. I was like, am I supposed to read your mind that you need help with these things? We basically ended, I said, you have no right to be mad at me. I was doing your dishes. I was ready early. I'm not the reason we're late. And we kind of ended the conversation there. And in my head, I was like, she's crazy. She's just mad at me because she's late, but it's not my fault. And she probably knows that. And she just wants to be mad at me anyway. Anyway, didn't let it ruin our day. We've had enough fights like that where it's just like, okay.
For me, you usually stay mad like for a long time, and I'm like, come hold my hand, and you're like, no.
You apologize first. Don't pretend like it never happened. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah. And I just like to pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah. So, anyway, we had a good time at the race, but it was the next morning, I think. I woke up and I was like, I don't know, it was like this clarity of thought that comes when you're just waking up. I was like, I know why she's mad. Because I've been reading this book on feminine, masculine polarity, and the answer was in the book. And it's not even a complicated answer. Like, I'm surprised I didn't realize it in the situation. So there's this book called The Masculine in Relationship by a man named G.K. Youngblood. Very illuminating book. And I've been reading it, and I actually, I was surprised that I didn't have this insight during the argument that we were having. Because I had gone from thinking, you're insane, and you have no reason to be mad at me, but you are anyway, and just writing that off as feminine behavior, which is actually...
Insanity is feminine behavior?
What? Yes. Highly emotional and sometimes irrational emotional behavior.
Okay.
Is legitimately feminine behavior. Which means you could either be mad at that and say, that's not true because that's insulting and it's not true.
No, I own it.
But it is true. Yeah. And it's also okay.
Mostly I own it because of our 14-year-old daughter exemplifies that.
Yeah.
Very much.
24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the other side of that coin is that it's okay. Like, it's normal, acceptable feminine behavior to have strong and often unexplainable emotions and to express them strongly and irrationally. So I should have known this in the moment, but the book says 3 things about what a man should do to be more masculine in a relationship. And I realized that this problem was basically a failure on my part to play my masculine role. And here's why. We talked about the feminine masculine polarity before. Well, because I wasn't being masculine in this situation, you had to become more masculine. And what did you have to do to become more masculine?
Pick up the slack and do the things that you weren't doing to get ready to go out the door. Maybe?
Yeah, which is what? Like, what did you want me to do that I wasn't doing?
I don't remember.
You want to not have to be in charge of this whole process, which is hard for me. Like, you took that over a long time ago. Like a long time ago, because you're really good at that stuff. And often women are, especially moms who do it so much. I abdicated that a long time ago. I just let you, probably because you got mad at me often and just criticized the way I was doing it. And so I was like, fine, just do it, But I'd let you put the, 47 things in the bag, and you've just been doing it for years. But you really want me to do that. You want me to be in charge of this process so you can just not have to go into your masculine state and own it. And that was the problem. That was why you were mad on Saturday.
Yes. So
often, guys out there, if you find yourself saying in your head, what does she expect me to do? Read her mind? The problem isn't that she wants you to read her mind. The problem is that she wants you to be taking charge of the situation beforehand. Because you were thinking, you were saying, I want you to help with this stuff. I'm like, how am I supposed to know what I'm supposed to help with? I should be making the plan in the first place and owning all of this stuff so that you don't have to. What do you think about that? You want that?
Oh, yes, but at the same time, you need help with stuff too. You don't need me just over here giving myself a manicure while you're doing all the things.
Well, I think pretty much what you would like me to do is get all the stuff ready, take it out to the car, and then come and pick you up out of bed and carry you down to the car and put you in it.
Yes, I would hate that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I can see how having you plan things or contribute to the execution of getting out the door would be super beneficial and less stressful. I'm packing lunches for 7 people. I'm helping little kids put shoes on. I'm finding jerseys. I'm finding sunglasses, filling water bottles while you're sitting in the car waiting for the rest of us to come out.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm just thinking, well, I was on time. Why are you mad at me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a failure of masculine leadership. So the book says, go ahead.
Sorry, but doesn't that fall on the woman too? Shouldn't I be more hey, I need water bottles filled up for all of us. Will you take that while I do this other thing?
Yeah, you could. You would still be in charge there, which is okay. The man doesn't have to be in charge all the time. The masculine doesn't have to be in charge all the time. But if I'm not going to own the process and lead, then I need to lead in a different way. I need to come to you and say, what do you need? How can I help? Tell me what to do and I'll do it. And that's still masculine leadership, even though you're leading the process. So in the book, there are 3 things. Respond instead of react, create safety, and create structure. And in this case, you wanted me to create structure. You wanted me to put some leadership in place here that would get us out the door on time instead of leaving it all to you. So.
And just to wrap up that story, we arrived at the race in Midway at 8:29 a.m. Took forever to find the volunteer tent. And went to volunteer and they didn't even really need us.
It ended up being a total waste of time.
Yeah. So I was upset for really no reason. But it's important we fulfilled
which made
our
me
duty.
feel even more justified.
Yeah. And me less justified, but that's okay.
Yeah. No. But it was crazy how I woke up the next morning and I was just like, oh, she's not crazy. It was my fault.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's this episode. I hope this has been helpful. And we'll be back with some more masculine, feminine polarity talk. So until next time, we'll see you then.